City Skylines here with me, Addict. How you guys going today? I hope you are well and I hope you are prepared for another fabulous episode of City Skylines. I want to thank you all so much for leaving your comments and feedback on the first episode that premiered last week. I was extremely nervous about how it was going to go down and it seems like it was fairly well received, so thank you all so much for watching the video, leaving your comments and feedback on there. I really appreciated it and I'm really excited to continue our city here. If you hear background noise during this video, I'm very sorry. There are currently 5 dogs in this room and they're all a little bit fritz, but hopefully they won't be too crazy. So, in the first episode, what we did was essentially just set up a basic little battery to get our city rolling. We have got some tax money rolling in, we've got a little bit of a population base, we've got a little commercial center, some lovely residential over here, and we've got a healthy bit of demand that has kind of grown up throughout our efforts. So yeah, the first episode was very much just set up, and now we want to move on to getting some more detailed things kind of set up and ready to go for our city. One thing I definitely want to do this episode is put together our first industry area, or maybe first 2 industry areas, and what we're going to do for those is most likely a farm, and it is going to be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. I really like putting together farms in this game. I think they always look kind of fun, and my family has always been kind of involved in farming, so yeah, I just find it kind of enjoyable to put those together. Excuse me. Right. But yeah, for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and get a little bit more residential zoned in, just to sort of try to fill up this area, because we're going to need people to work in the farms, so we need to make sure that we've still got our population growing and moving forward, so that we'll be able to, yeah, man the farms and get people working in them. And then we're going to go ahead and basically just see how far we can get with in terms of leveling up the farm. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of hints and tips about how to set up your industry areas so that hopefully the traffic's not atrocious, because industry areas can generate obviously a lot of traffic and you can have a lot of problems with that if you're not a little bit careful. So I will take you through some hints and things that I've kind of discovered in my time of playing City Skylines that will hopefully be able to help you out with that. So we're just going to continue on, as I mentioned, just filling out a little bit more of this area, just get all of this kind of zoned in so that we can have people moving in and building houses and doing all that kind of good stuff while we are getting the farms set up. I just want to go ahead and place in another little footpath. We're just going to continue this one across the road, put that through there and put that through there. And then I'm going to use the node controller mod to add a crosswalk here. And node controller, by the way, has received a massive update in between my first and second episode. There is a new version of it on the workshop called Node Controller Renewed, or renewal or revival or something along those lines, and it's absolutely amazing. I've been playing around with it and I totally love it. So basically I'm thinking of getting the farm built up maybe further up here, and long term we might have an extra kind of highway connection that comes in down from here into our farming area. You can see the light bits of the ground are all fertile land, and there is a lot of fertile land on this map. It is definitely probably the most common resource. There is also a lot of ore. There's a huge amount of oil over there. That whole mountain is ore. Yeah, actually probably ore is the most common resource by looking at that, but definitely this is a prime farming area, so I think it makes a lot of sense to get a farm established up here. The only thing I'm concerned about is getting our farm traffic back to the highway at this point. And I know I originally said we were going to start expanding over in this direction, so it could be a while before we actually unlock this square, but hopefully we can set up traffic routes that work well enough that it doesn't negatively impact our main traffic flow too much. One thing we could do is we could actually have this road that comes off here. We could change that to this heavier road, and then we could have one, maybe an industrial style road that branches off from here and punches all the way through to up there where we're going to have our farming area. I'm just going to build it off of here so I can build it straight. And then, yeah, I want that to be the main thoroughfare for the farm traffic, and then the other industry traffic for this area can go straight ahead down through there. So maybe let's just upgrade this road as well. And then what we'll do is, using traffic manager mod, we're going to just raise the speed limit on this outer road slightly. We're going to put it up to maybe 70k an hour, or maybe 60k an hour would be enough actually, just so people are encouraged to bypass this area and go this way unless they're actually wanting to go into that area there. Okay, so we're just going to continue with this road and bring it around and into a new farm that I'm going to set up probably just in this general area. That'll work, sure. So what we're gonna do first of all is we're gonna want to make sure that we've got plenty of entries and exits into the industry area so that we have plenty of options for our farmer vehicles to get around. So first of all, I'm just gonna build a road off like that. We're gonna go into industries. Sorry for the dogs. Right, so we're going to go ahead and paint an industry area over this whole section. The farm's probably eventually going to end up being quite large, so we want to make sure we have plenty of room, but definitely that outer road there we want to kind of be the border of the farm. So yeah, we'll just sort of paint all that in. There we go. And then, but I'm going to put that just kind of off the road there. Right, so level 1, we've got small grain silo, small animal crop, and fruit pasture fields. So with the industry areas, what I've come to realize is that the less you build on the main roads, the better. You want to have everything in its own sort of individual little sections, doing its own individual little thing. So we're going to start off just with a couple of small crop fields along this road. We don't have enough money right now to actually put down any more. Oh dear, didn't think of that, did I? Okay, while we're waiting for a bit more money to come in, we can just build a little pathway through there. Right, we're going to have to get pipage out here. How is our water supply going? Not great. So we could actually do with potentially building ourselves another water tower, and we could put it out here kind of on the way to the farm to simulate that this is like the farm's water supply. We just want to make sure that we don't have it too close to the farm where ground pollution sets in and makes a negative impact. Right. So yeah, unfortunately we've just kind of got to wait right now for some extra money to come in. Let's just come back over here and do a little more zoning. Oh, we didn't even put pipe. I didn't check that there were pipes in this part of town. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Can we also just turn back on all of those for laying our pipes? Sorry everybody. There you go, now you've got your agua. Okay, and then we can probably just like bring this around the roundabout. That wasn't very good. Oh god, I need to fix that because that's just not what I wanted. Maybe we should actually turn those off. Just there we go. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Okay, we're gonna have to just deal with that. We'll pretend it's perfectly under the road and not at all super cattywampus. Okay. Right, so we can actually afford a second water tower now, so let's go ahead and pop that one down. And then we can connect this to some pipes. And we can run that all the way through there. And then, of course, we're also going to run, eventually, this pipe all the way back along the road to our main water pipe network. So we can hook it up to the sewage, of course. Just gonna play the old money waiting game. Not ideal, but I'm definitely keen to get the farm built up because once we get some, you know, this place working, farms and industry areas in general really start to boost your city's income and really start making a huge difference to how much money you're making. So I'm excited for that. Let's just have a sip of tea while we wait. Got peppermint tea in my mug for today's episode. Hope that you guys are fans of peppermint tea. If you're not and you haven't tried it, well, if you're not a fan because you haven't tried it, I suggest you try it. If you have tried it and you're not a fan, I'm so sorry to hear that. You are missing out on such delicious tea on the regular. Okay, well that's enough pipage to work with for now, but of course now we got to wait to get more money built up so we can put down more crop fields and things. But yeah, so at the moment we're just producing crops, and then we will want to start storing them in silos and also feeding them to animals. So I would like to be able to put down a small animal pasture, which is going to cost us nearly 10,000 simoleons. Oh gosh. Can we just like take out another loan? Not really. Oh dear. Okay, well let's keep working on our population base then. That's fine. I also went ahead in between episodes and I made a couple more custom park assets, which was really fun. Something I really enjoyed doing in this game actually is making some custom parks. And the idea behind that was, again, for my sort of school areas, I wasn't super happy with this massive school green. So we might actually have a go at replacing that. But again, we should probably wait until we've got a bit more money. Let's just kind of continue working on our road network. Uh-oh, we're running short on power now as well. Oh, we are running short on power as well. Oh no. That is the thing about industry areas though. They do tend to sort of up your demand for your utilities. They start becoming a lot more heavily used. Okay, we finally got enough money to put down my animal pasture. And along the same vein, I'm going to try to put this out on its own little road with its own access so that the traffic from the crop fields doesn't intersect too badly with the traffic from the animal pasture. And that's kind of just how I like to organize these things. I like to keep everything in its own little area, nice and separate. To solve our power problems for now, I am just going to up our budget because we can't afford to put in another power plant at this point. So I'm just going to up the budget and hopefully that'll cover us enough for the time being. And then the next thing we need to put into our industry area is a grain silo, just so we can have some form of a little buffer for our farm here, but we again don't have enough money. Also, I've just realized where I've put that might put the water tower in danger of being polluted. That probably wasn't smart. Can I look at my pollution map yet? Yes, I can. Okay, well, it doesn't look like there's any pollution there yet, but that's all right. Oh yes, and I think I forgot to up the speed limit on the rest of this road too. Yes, I did. So let's just go ahead and do that. So now the trucks can get through out to the farm a little faster than they can along these roads down here, which is good news. Okay, a little bit of waiting later, and we've now got enough money to put in a grain silo. I'm gonna put that across the road from the farm. The main building potentially, or we could actually, what I would like to do is put in another crop field there and then put a silo on the end here, or maybe even next to the animals down here. Yeah, that might make more sense. So then if the animals need more feed, more grain, they'll be able to just get it out the silos and take it straight there. But of course now I've spent more money on the crop field, so we don't have more money to put down a grain silo. That's all right. What we can also do is go ahead and do a little bit of fencing, just start making this place look more farmy. Oh gosh, look at this. So Boomtown reached a population of 2,200. We've just unlocked a bunch more stuff, including ore industry specialization. Amazing. That is something that I want to get working on quite soon. We've also got elder care, child health. We've got cemeteries. We can start doing buses, taxis, and trams. Okay, we've got disaster response unit, post office. Right, so we've got a lot more stuff that we can pop in. By the looks of things, the main one that we want to get down sort of stat is some death care. Do we even have any death care in the city at this point? I don't actually think we do. So for death care, I've got a couple of custom assets that unlock at the same time as the cemetery, but before the crematorium unlocks. I do have this guy, which is a funeral home, this crematorium and funeral parlor, and this suburban church, which also acts as a crematorium, that unlock before the cemeteries do. I guess it's a little cheaty because we could, you know, you're not supposed to be able to cremate your Sims, I guess, until after you get more of a population. I don't really understand why that is. Cemeteries, you know, do end up, well, they have a tendency to end up being quite annoying in the game because you got to empty them before you can move them, and it just turns into a whole thing. But we'll, just for the sake of playing a more base game structure, we can pop in a cemetery. And what I'm thinking is we could have the first cemetery of our city here along the riverfront, as a beautiful place to lay our people to rest. And hopefully we won't ever end up wishing we had not put it here and wanting to move it somewhere else. So yeah, I'm just going to pop that out there. Just going to make sure it's got water available, which of course right now it doesn't. Continued around the roundabout. There we go. I did a bit better job of it that time. And we also got a nice big income boost, which means I can now afford to pop in another power plant, because we got a nice little bonus from our level up. Cool. And we should also now almost be able to afford our grain silo. Almost. So close. There we go. Okay. Perfect. What are you guys complaining about? Not enough raw materials. Okay. And you're saying not enough buyers for products. Sure. All right, we're going to pop this on empty. So we just keep a little bit of a buffer in here, but hopefully they'll actually put the grain in the animal pastures so that actually makes a bit more sense. Right. Now, let us continue on. I was kind of wanting to continue with our fencing down along this road. And then another thing I would like to do is just kind of line this with some lovely trees. Those trees are a little bigger and different colored to what's already here on the map. These ones look like they match quite well. So let's just line the back of this crop field with with some nice trees, which will look lovely. And then we'll do the same thing along this road as well. Let's pop a lovely tree line, because tree lines are beautiful. They make a road look so much nicer, and they just make people happy. Well, they make me happy anyway. And then we can fence along here once we have the money. Come on, there we go. And then there we go, it's starting to look a little bit nicer, and I'm just pretty much going to leave that to do its thing until we gain a little bit more cash monies. Also, because I've now put in another power plant, I'm just going to turn our budget back down to normal. There we go. Okay. And then thinking about expanding the farm further and making sure we continue with our, useful kind of access, we might end up putting one more crop field along here, which means we've got those two squares on the end there where we can put a road coming down. I would like it to not do that. Okay, let's just snap to angle. Let's have that come up there. Let's use our move it mod, and I'm going to hold down Alt to keep this road be in a straight line, and then connect that through, and that's basically straight. Let's just make sure, actually. Basically straight. Close enough. We'll fix that up in the future if we need to. Nice. Right, we do definitely want to also consider getting some elder care and childcare down, and you can see that because we've started building up the farm, our demand for more residential is increasing, which is good news for our city. We want to have a healthy residential demand. So I'm going to smash in a road sort of coming up from here. Oh, we're really struggling with the funds. That's okay, we'll get there. Let's just put it on triple speed. Usually with my cities, they end up so kind of profitable that I stop worrying about money fairly quickly. So it's weird to actually have to worry about money at the moment. That's going to give me a space already occupied. So again, I'm just going to use my move it mod to just jimmy that backwards a little bit. Not cheating, it's in the game when you have mods. Whoop. Jumpy game. And I'd like to get some extra roads in through here. What we could do in the effort of not demolishing these poor people's houses, which they have built and put their love into to, establish them. we could just build a little road in here and have it sort of connect through back that way. That house may actually auto demolish because I've changed the zoning. Hopefully it doesn't. And then let's just put a little pedestrian path through here. There we go. And that just means that this road now doesn't act as a massive through road, but the Sims will be encouraged to kind of drive around, which I like. Okay, let's just continue that road through and connect that road up to there. Our zoning is a bit funny, but what can you do? And let's just get that in. Let's check our water pipes. Not looking too bad, but we could probably stand to just run a connecting pipe all the way down along this kind of main road, so that we don't have to worry too much about people being without water. Right, so then, yes, we unlocked some elder care and death care facilities. So how much, I mean, not elder care and child health facilities. I would like to put the child health facility in first if I can, just because I think that'd be a nice thing to encourage in our city at the moment is more babies being born. We are still a very young town, so I'm hoping that that'll work. What we might do is we might have this road continue to come down this way, and then we'll have it hit a roundabout section where it intersects with this road, because I'm envisioning this as sort of a main arterial connecting route through the city. So then we can use our roundabout builder because I'm lazy, and we can just pop in a nice little roundabout, and then we can line it with trees because why not? I also really enjoy using this mod called Network Extent... No, not Network Extensions. Is it Network Extensions? I can't remember now. I'll pop it up on screen. But it basically allows me to edit the types of trees and decorative bits and bobs that go on the roads, which is always nice. Oh, and do you know what I've just realized is I think I might have messed up this roundabout down here. I did, because I forgot to get rid of those. What are you doing? You can't just drive through the center of a roundabout. Yeah, that's my bad. So no one could actually access the cemetery. Oopsie doopsie. And then let's just make sure that's all set up. Lovely. And then we'll have a couple of kind of smaller blocks coming through here because, again, I envision this being a fairly busy kind of main thoroughfare. We may also have a little commercial sector down here where some local shops for all these residents who live around here, so they don't have to go all the way down here if they want to do their shopping, is always a good idea as well. And then we can zone in residential through there and through there. Beautiful. And then my plan is to have a childcare facility, maybe even, oh no, sorry. I was going to say in this block here, but then someone started building a house there. Oh, now someone's building a house there. Okay, I'm too slow with my zoning cancellation, so that's okay. We'll put it on this side of the road instead. Another thing we could definitely do is set up a very simple bus route, but I am conscious that we don't have a lot of money right now, so maybe we can just save that for a later date. But I would like to get one more crop field in there, and then we can extend my fence along. Oops, wrong one. I always do that. Extend my tree line along. Beautiful. And then we may even extend it kind of down this road here, but we won't put the fence in because there's probably no point. There we go. And we could put a couple in there. So we got pigs, have we? Oh, okay. Apparently we're pig farmers. Sure. Let's go with it. Let's definitely hit me up with some name suggestions in the comments for our farm. We could call it Myrtle Farm because we've got Myrtle Industry over here. One idea that my fiance actually had for this series is to use districts and district names that are based on real places in Australia, because Australia has some pretty hilarious town names, rural Australia. So for example, we could call this little district here one of my personal favorites, a real place in Australia that's called Gol Gol. And because I just think that would be funny. We've also got a place that we discovered on our holiday recently, that is just so much fun to say that we couldn't stop saying it over and over and over again, which is called Moombaloo. And you've got to say it with a really Australian accent, otherwise it doesn't sound right. But it was a very amusing moment when we realised that that was what this town was called. Oh dear. Alright, so I'm just going to have this road get sealed along through here, and then I'm actually considering converting this one into a roundabout as well, because I would like it to actually be a T intersection coming through here, or not a T intersection, sorry, a cross intersection, and it can be worth having roundabouts in a situation like that. For now, we'll just put in some giveaways and see how it goes, but that might be something that we end up having to do. Okay, so you can see we are starting to get a lot more sort of money coming through into our city. We're climbing swiftly, so I wouldn't mind extending our farming operation a little more, and having maybe an animal or a couple of animal pastures on this road here. Perfect. And now, of course, to feed these guys, we're going to need a lot more a lot more crop fields. I'm going to change these to sheep, I think. Sheep, yeah, sheep and grain go together. Oh, look at this. So we've reached level 2 on our farming industry. So we've unlocked the flour mill, a bakery, farm workers barracks, cattle shed, and small barn. Excellent. That is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so let's just slow that down a touch. So if we take a look here, we can't actually paste any of these down right now because I just spent all our money on sheep. But the farm workers barracks increases the work efficiency of the workers in the industry area. So we'll definitely want to plop one of these down. We could pop it down maybe here, just next to our main farm building. What else do we get? The small barn is just an alternative to the silos for holding grain. And then I believe the flour mill is an actual factory. Yes, it is. Oh, sorry, the bakery is a factory, so our flour mill must be in here somewhere. Yes, it is. So we can turn crops into flour, and then we can make the flour into baked goods, but we also need a lot more animal products and crops to make that happen. So we'll definitely want to extend our cropping operation back here, is basically what I am thinking. So what we can do is we can extend that road out, and then we could probably have, I would like this road to go right in the middle, right where it doesn't want to let me, naturally, but that's okay. We can use Move It Mod to just finagle that and get it exactly where I want it to be. Fantastic. And then have that come down through there. And that should be wide enough for crop fields. Oh, it might not be actually. Might have made a mistake. Let's have a look. Ooh, it's not. Could we fit 2 side by side? No, we can't. Oh, well, that's just really inconvenient, isn't it? Let's see if I can do a little bit of Move It Mod magic to make this work. Just gonna move all that across. I'm just gonna move that across and have that road line up. And then this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. We may have to just move across ever so slightly. But I still kind of want it to hit this, like, in between those 2 sheep fields if I can. Okay. Okay, so we can now afford to put in the farmer workers barracks, although it doesn't want to let me put it down where I want to. Ugh, rude. So we'll just Move It Mod that into position. There we go. And then we could, oh, we still can't quite fit them, can we? How annoying. So close, but just not quite. Oh dear, I'm sure I can make this work. So let's just maybe pop that one in there. And then we'll just move it into place. And then I would like to be able to put one there, but it doesn't seem to want to let me. So what we could do is just rebuild this road and then see if it'll let me. Oh, yes. Brilliant. Like I said, for me, Move It mod is one of the essential mods for playing City Skylines. I use it probably more than I ought to, but I just find it so handy. And now my crop fields are in the right spot, and it's just makes me happy. This section here we might leave a little sort of blank, and we might eventually put some more barns and storage options in there. I just don't want to put everything like super close together, because as I mentioned, it's way better in this game to have the industry areas spread out, have things on their own individual sort of roads and spaces, so you can, yeah, really spread out the traffic. And farms in reality are not super crowded, and they definitely don't generate as much traffic as they do here in the game, for sure. Usually farms are fairly quiet, and you might have like one family who manages many crop and animal fields. Awesome. We may also just put in a line of trees at the back of this field here, just to signify that we're going to cut it off there. Perfect. And we can also potentially put in a little fencing. Nice. Now, the flour mill, does this guy... Oh, and what's this? This is a cattle shed. Oh, so this turns crops into animal products as well as the animal pastures do. So does this guy have to go... It does have to be placed inside the industry area. Okay, that makes me a little upset because you wouldn't really usually have a flour mill as part of the actual farm. So the way I kind of get around that to try to maintain the realism is what I usually do is I'll extend over the industry area to where I would rather have my factory, which for me is over here in this sort of like main industry area somewhere. So I'll just sort of zone that all in and pretend it's all part of the farm, and then I will cut it off. And if you didn't know you could do that, you totally can. And now if we highlight this industry area, you can see it actually exists in 2 different spots, which is kind of handy. And another thing we could also do, I'm seeing here, is connect this road over eventually, but we might just wait on that for now. So I'm thinking that we could have the flour mill just come off of this road. Why not? Could be good. Oh, that fits in perfectly. I love that. I'm definitely going to put it on this side road rather than the main road. Again, if where possible, you just want to avoid having big traffic producing items on a main road. And then we can also, because you see this place needs crops to turn into flour, we can also go ahead and put in a barn or some silos for the farmers to come over and dump their grain in. So that they can easily get it when they need it for the industry area. So we're definitely going to go ahead. We're going to put a barn in here when we have enough money, but of course we don't have enough money right now. Classic. And another thing I would like to do is put in a car park or extra car parking, because I just find that, again, the game is a little unrealistic in terms of the amount of car parking it gives you for these major buildings. You would really need quite a bit. So we're going to put the barn here, again sticking to my rule of having like an individual road for different things. And then we're going to our park section. And another reason I like putting car parks everywhere, by the way, is because they are classified as parks. So they actually make people happy when you pop parks down everywhere, which I kind of... Car parks everywhere, which I kind of like. Okay, you can see we haven't quite left enough room there for our car parks, so they actually clip pretty badly. And what we're going to do to get around that is just some more Move It mod. There we go. Now it's fine. And then this little section in here, we might as well just zone in a little bit more default industry, because why not? Okay, so you can see there is a fair amount of traffic traveling in towards the farm, which is why, again, I will eventually try to have probably just a local connection to the highway over here, something very simple, just to service this kind of farm area, and hopefully people don't try to use it as a shortcut to get into the town. that's what we're going to try our best to avoid. So you can see we have quite a healthy residential demand again. So what we can do is just go ahead and zone in a bunch more residential. What we might do is start building up this land along the river, because that will probably look quite nice. So we might go ahead and put in a 2-lane road with grass running along the riverfront. And the reason I like to use that road for a riverfront road is so people don't park on it as much, because then it'll ruin the view of the river. But what we can do is kind of have this just follow the natural shape, natural-ish shape of the river along here, more or less, kinda. Don't think I've done a great job with that. And then another thing I usually like to do along the riverfronts is put in a walking path and cycling path, kind of going alongside the road. So it just encourages people to really enjoy the riverfront vista, enjoy the view. I know in my city of Adelaide, it, you know, down by the coast, by the beach, pretty much the whole way along is just giant like walking and cycle paths for us to enjoy. So we can, like walk the dogs along there, go jogging along there, go walking, whatever it is we like to do. So we can go ahead and do that. And then with these like sort of terrain terry spots, you got two options. You can use movement mod to bring it in so it's nice and close so you don't actually see any of those, which is what I'm going to choose to do in this instance. But just to demonstrate another thing you can do, maybe if you don't have movement mod, is you can just grab some trees and just pop them in these little gaps. And then it looks like the gaps are there on purpose. And I am not going to do that this time because I want it to be kind of flush with the road, and the sidewalk of the road. And then, yeah, hopefully people will just kind of use and enjoy this as a way of just seeing the city and watching the water, because, you know, who doesn't want to do that? We'll also, of course... Oh, hello, why are you doing that? Why are you going up? I don't want you to do that. Stick to the ground, please. No. Okay, I'll fix that in a minute. That's fine. For some reason, it's decided it needed to put a bridge in there, but that's all right. So we'll just continue that out that way for future, and then we'll upgrade it so it actually sticks to the ground. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've got that in, we will go ahead and actually place in some roads and get some zoning in, which is what I originally wanted to do. So we can have a road. I mean, we're probably at the point now where I can stop using dirt roads also. The reason I use dirt roads in the start of a city is because they are much cheaper per cell, and when your city is struggling for your budget, it's a much better idea to use dirt roads. So the 2-lane road is $50 to place and 40 cents per week upkeep. The dirt road is 25 to place and 24 cents a week to upkeep. So you can see it's just a lot cheaper. We've also I've got a couple of custom roads in here. We've got this 2-way Plain Street. This is a really nice road that I do like to use because I think it just looks really cool in the suburban areas of the town. So I'll go ahead and place a couple of those crossing through there. Should be fine. That one's actually a lot closer to the roundabout than I would like. So I changed my mind. I'm going to redirect it sort of back down that way. And that's just and that space now looks perfect for a park in my opinion. So we'll probably go ahead and put a park in there. And we won't zone on the roundabout because otherwise Biffa will have our necks. And we can, see what parks we've got that can fit in here. That one's good, but it's a little bit too small. So what is that? That is a 5x5 park. Do we have a 6x6? Lots of 8x8s. A gazebo? Whoa, that's massive. Not the gazebo park. Neighborhood park? Nope. Also too big. My school greens. That's not quite gonna fit. This modern art plaza would fit, but it might be way too modern for this area. That's okay. In that case, what we might do, 12 by 12s. What else we got? We got a dog park. Put a dog park in there. I mean, who doesn't love a dog park? Let's put a dog park in. Yeah. Dog parks make people happy. So we'll put one of those in. And then we will... considering this is quite a main road, it would make sense to continue that all the way through to the riverfront road down there. Again, it would also make sense to make this into a roundabout. For now, we're just going to pop in some more giveaways. Hopefully, because this is all just low density residential, we shouldn't have too much of an issue with traffic. I can't really foresee a massive traffic explosion blowing up in this area. Should be fine. Oop, I can see someone doesn't have water because I've again forgotten to do water pipes, proper water pipes in this area. My fault, sorry y'all. And let's go ahead and pop in, we might just pop in some sort of cul-de-sacs in this area, just like, and we're gonna make it fairly dense so it looks like, you know, this is quite a desirable place to live. We will also attempt to make it a desirable place to live by making sure that there's a lot of great services in here. And with these dead-end cul-de-sacs, we will go ahead and pop in some extra path access for the pedestrians so that they can walk through if they want to. This one I might have come kind of this way and through this random little... Oh no! I was going to say that random little gap and then I messed it up. Okay, let's get some pipes in here. Turn off angle snapping. So we'll have a pipe running along the main river street. And up through there. And then we'll have one running down through the main street in the middle. And up to there. Beautiful. Okay. Then we're going to zone all of that in as residential. That should keep people happy for a while. Okay, now how are we going with schooling? So our capacity's okay, the coverage isn't great. We could definitely use another school down here in this area. So that is something we could definitely build off this kind of more main road here. I did also want to put in at least the child health center. So maybe we could actually pop that kind of nearby the school. So we've essentially got a primary school and a kids daycare facility in the same area. And I think that'll look quite nice. So let's prioritize the daycare center first. And what we'll aim to do is make it look like these kind of share the same facilities. Oh, again, we have no money. This has been the story of this whole episode, wanting to do stuff but not having enough money to do it. How is our industry area going? We are producing all our own crops, which is great. So we're servicing everything we need to service. We've produced enough resources. We don't have enough workers, and we don't actually have enough capacity for workers to go to the next level. So we do need to put down something else, probably more crop fields to increase the capacity of our farm, so we can continue to level that up. So let's go ahead and... Can you stick to the road that I want you to stick to, please? No, it can't. Okay, we'll leave... How big are the grain silos? No, I want you to go on... no. Oh, jeez. Not what I want. It's not doing what I want at all. Okay, we'll put in another crop field there. And then eventually we'll sort of make that match in with the rest of the farm area. But I would definitely like to continue this area. How are our loans looking? So we've got 30,000 left on that loan. Okay, that's fine. And our next unlock is, whoops, at 4,400 people. So we're actually on our way towards that as well. Oh, and we do also have high school, so we should definitely consider putting down a high school. Maybe we could do that just further up this main road, where it is going to be able to service a lot of the town that we already have established. So you can see though that our income has now jumped up quite significantly per week. We're making a lot more money than we were at the start of the episode, and that is all thanks to this farm. This is really starting to earn us some good money. So total profit of the farm so far is 3,095. You can also see our capacity is now 330 workers. So we do need to put in another crop field or two so that we can get the rest of the workers that we need to be able to level up the farm. There we go. So I've just spent all our money again, sorry. My bad. But we should definitely have plenty of capacity now for leveling up the farm. Yep, so we've got capacity for 370 workers, and you can see that more and more people are coming to work. There we go. Farm is now level 3, so we've now got a lemonade factory, milking parlor, medium crop field, and medium fruit field. Awesome. Okay, that is probably where I'm going to leave the farm for this episode, and we'll continue to level that up in the next one. I would just like to finish off this kind of school area and get down the extra public school, primary school that we need, and the high school that we need as well. So let's just sit and wait and drink our tea and wait to have enough money. Okay, we've got our primary school down. I can now also put in the car park that I want to put in between these two buildings, so it looks like it's extra parking for the whole sort of facility. And then I did also make, as I mentioned, some custom kind of school greens, which is here. And I designed it so it's going to line up perfectly, like with the back of this primary school. So if I put a road, I need you to snap to the angle, please. Sort of going, we might actually use our little suburban road. If I just put that going along there, and then we could have it run down next to that childcare facility, then I should, yes, be able to pop my small school green in there. And yeah, so you can see I kind of designed it so it just looks like this is an extension of the primary school. So we've got some seating areas here and a nice big sort of green space for the kids to play, an extra playground area, some spots for them to sit down and eat their lunch. And I thought that was a really cute idea. And then the large school green I'll show you as well, just so you guys can see what it looks like. We're probably not going to keep it. But this one, I put in some 4 squares, again, a nice little eating area. And this is meant to look like kind of like an oval that the kids do sports on, with some football posts in there as well. I don't know, I thought it was cute. But we'll demolish that for now. The high school costs 30,000, so we're almost able to afford to put that one in. We might just add another parking area. So yeah, kind of like a really nice educational campus here with also a childcare centre for our citizens to enjoy. Really like that. I've also got a couple of custom assets here for smaller public libraries. I like the libraries in City Skylines, but I just find them way too massive. So like this is the footprint of the normal public library. This is my nice little small one. This is another nice small one. Oh dear. And then this one is a custom elementary school that I really like for placing in like built up CBD areas where we've got a lot of high-rise buildings and things like that. I think that works quite well. Okay, so with the high school, again, we're kind of going to have it on its own little road and its own little section so that the traffic it generates, particularly pedestrian traffic, won't impact our main traffic flow too much. So pop the high school down, pop in, whoops. Can hear everybody upgrading. They're so happy that I finally realized we didn't have a high school. Pop in some extra car parking because we need that. And then for this one, what I would like to put in is maybe a... Oh, that one's a bit big, isn't it? I was going to say maybe a track and field facility, but it's a bit much. I've also got, I think in healthcare. Yeah, healthcare has the sports hall and gymnasium, which can look quite nice next to a high school as well. But we might go ahead. Okay, so let's see. What do we want to put down with the high school? We could put in a baseball field. We could put in this high school green. Oh, that fits quite nicely. There we go. So we're pretending that that's kind of part of the high school. And then what we can do is extend a little road just going up here. And we can add in some, let me see, some basketball courts. Or a basketball court. A tiny little, why is the tennis court so small? Oh gosh, okay, I need to get a better tennis court asset, clearly. Because that's, like, compared to the basketball court, oh my gosh, that's hysterical. And maybe just another bit more car parking next to that. There we go. I don't know why that's yellow also. I don't really like that very much. But yeah, so this is kind of my idea for schools. I like to make it so it's like a whole campus area with a lot of room around it. But that is definitely all that we have time for today's episode. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Next time we'll be back to finish getting Autumn Farmland up to level 5. You can see we're going to need more workers, more resources, all that kind of good stuff. We can also put on some policies to help us out in the future, but we won't do that just yet. But yeah, we will aim to get this up to level 5 in the next episode. We'll aim to continue expanding out our city. At some point or other, I'll go through and upgrade all these roads so they're not all dirt roads. So you can see we're getting a little bit of trash problems as well. Oh, because this is actually full and is emptying. Okay, well, really quickly, do we have other options for trash collection? We've got a recycling center, so it might be okay. We could just pop down another one. Might be a helpful thing, but I don't want it on that road. We could pop it down just kind of at the edge of the industrial zone back here, and then again, just pop in a little car park next to it. There we go. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Leave your thoughts, suggestions and comments down below the video. If you did enjoy this, please give the video a thumbs up. Because it's a new series especially, it's really important that if you like it, you tell YouTube that you like it so YouTube recommends it to other people. And you can also, of course, subscribe. If you're not, you can hit the notification bell to be notified when new episodes come out. And yeah, I hope that you have a great week. Take care and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.